how to do a classic drop fade. What's going on, fadedculture? My name is Sergio Barron, and hopefully y'all learned something from this tutorial. If y'all do, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, and let us know what y'all did or didn't like about the video. Now, I always start by consulting with the client, making sure that we're both on the same page as to what exactly it is that they like and don't like about their haircut. Then before I start my fade, I quickly just set my perimeter line up just so I can understand exactly where I want my fade to start. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and just basically use where his hairline starts above the ear as a reference, and then just aim that towards the tempo peak to set it in my first guideline. Now, hence being a drop fade, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that this first line drops as I reach the back of the head, making sure that my strokes are consistent, about a ½ inch in space of a stroke. And then just make sure that you repeat that line on the opposite side so that it looks even, and just make sure that it's even on the back end as well. So before you even move on to the next guideline, make sure you take a good step in front and in the back of your client so you can make sure and ensure that the line is even before setting in the rest of our guidelines. If this line ain't straight, the rest of your guides ain't gonna be straight, so don't skip that part. Next, with the clipper lever open, I'm gonna come up about a ½ inch from that previous line. All you gotta do is make sure that it runs parallel to that first line. So just take your time and make sure that you lay it down as soft and easy as possible. You don't want it too harsh or too hard of a guide that it's kind of hard for you to come back and blend out in the end. Next, with the number 1 lever fully open, I'm gonna come up about another ½ inch and exaggerating the flare out a little bit more, as I want to try to already start connecting to the top length. Guys, and if y'all need more help, go ahead and join our online mentorship. The link is in the bio or in the description, or visit us at fadedcultureacademy.com. Now, with the 1.5 guard lever fully open still, I'm gonna exaggerate that flare out even more, trying to establish that connection from where the fade ends to where the longer length starts. Now, whatever else is left to blend, I'm gonna just go ahead and use clipper over comb to finish establishing that connection. Make sure that you flare out with your comb to help you finish creating the shape that we want. And just ensure that you're not pressing the comb in with the clipper. Now we have these 2 guidelines. First, starting with that half clip lever at 3/4, I'm gonna start blending out this top line first. Using the corners and being soft with it, the challenge is to basically get it out without creating another guide above. If you do so, happen to create another line, that's okay. We'll come back in with another guard, as you'll see in the video. But for now, just try to soften it up as much as possible without creating so much of an obvious line above. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and follow that up with the number 1 guard, still keeping that lever at 3/4 to finish establishing that top guideline connection. Now, with the clipper lever closed, I'm gonna start blending out the initial baseline that we set in. Using the corner, we're gonna start softening up that initial guideline that we set with our trimmer. Now, with the clipper lever open at 3/4, moving up a little bit higher on that line to finish establishing that connection. We want a seamless blend, guys, so keep working at it without creating any more hard lines. Then to finish connecting that line, lever open to finish connecting it. Now, if you notice, I like to break this last line down into smaller sections just because it takes me 3 lever positions to blend out. So I basically just work on like about 2 to 3 inches in space at a time so that it don't feel so overwhelming, and then just break down this last line into smaller sections like I said. So starting with the clipper lever closed, then lever at 3/4, and then fully open. Me personally, I like to work in sections. I feel like it just makes my process a lot easier and less overwhelming, especially how you notice that I started with the back first. Since the back of the head most of the time is most of the person's haircut, usually I attack that first and then I'll move on and do the sides, as by the time you're done with the back, the sides will just seem much smaller to work on. I don't know, it's all preference. In barbering, when you're doing it so long, you'll end up switching up your routines here and there, just because honestly you just get bored with doing the same thing every day. But sometimes I'll go all the way around the head, setting in all my guides, and then a lot of the times I like to just work in sections like I'm doing today. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use our Faded Culture thinning shears. Y'all can find this set or pick it up at fadedculture.com, guys. We've gotten a bunch of reviews, good reviews on them. They're really great steel. They're really sharp, and for the price point, you can't beat it, trust me. We really take pride in everything that we come up with, so if y'all like to support this channel, visit fadedculture.com and check out our merch and our tools and products. Now we're gonna go ahead and repeat the exact same process that we did in the back on the sides. Starting with the lever open to come up about a 1/2 inch. Follow that up with the 1 guard, lever open again, come up about another 1/2 inch. And again, just remember that you're flaring out and keeping that line consistent. For the most part, lately I've been using the 1.5 guard as my last guard to try to finish establishing the connection from the fade to the top length. Anything after that, I like to use clipper over comb. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and start blending out that top line again with that 1/2 clip, lever positioned at 3/4 open. And if you'd like to upload your work on our online mentorship, you can, guys. Send us pictures of your work or videos and we can critique it and maybe even make some videos for you in the online mentorship explaining what you can do to improve your skills. Follow that top line with that 1 guard, lever again at 3/4 to finish blending it out. Now, like I said, I like working in smaller sections, so right here I'm gonna start softening up the transition with our thinning shears of the fade. It's important that you're not sliding the comb on the scalp. You gotta flare it out, and basically we're working on the exterior of the hair. Now for that last line, again, clipper lever closed, then lever open at 3/4, and then fully open as you gradually move up on that line to establish that connection. And for everybody watching, I'm curious to know where y'all from. Where? Drop a comment, let us know what country, what city, what state you're from. I'm curious to know where everybody's from that follows us. So drop your city, state, or country and let me know how long you've been cutting hair. I'd love to hear from y'all. Now, as you see, once I was done with that front part of the fade, I just moved on down the side. Basically, every section, I break it down into 3 sections. So you see this right side of his head, for this last line, I like to work in 3s. It's a 3-step lever process, so I'll break it down into 3 sections. Right behind the ear, right above the ear, and in front of the ear. And then we're gonna repeat the exact same process on the other side. If you notice, guys, I'm always getting asked if this process works on all types of hair, and I always say yes, it does. It just takes practice on understanding how much to go over, and sometimes it's just the type of pressure that you're applying on the clipper. I never apply a lot of pressure. I basically almost feel like I'm balancing the clippers on my fingertips, keeping a light hand, and really trying to sculpt this fade into my client's hair. And if any of y'all are interested in joining barber school to get certified in the state of Texas, make sure that you, or if you know somebody, refer them to fadedcultureacademy.com. We do have our brick and mortar school here in San Antonio, Texas. Would love to come help y'all establish that license. Now it's the same process, guys. Again, starting blending out that top line with the lever at 3/4, using that half clip and the number 1 guard. Blending takes patience, guys, so don't get overwhelming if you can't get it in the first try. It's gonna take time for you to develop your eye to really notice these dark areas in the hair, and for you to understand exactly how to maneuver the clipper to help you get these dark spots out. The challenge and the goal is basically to have an even and consistent fade around. Sometimes, depending on the person's scalp or head, it's more challenging than other times, but I mean, that's the beauty of it. If it was easy, everybody could do it, and it takes practice just like anything else. I'm also curious if y'all have y'all's own fading method already. Drop it in the comments. I'd love to see how everybody else fades on here. It always helps to learn from each other. I've been cutting almost close to 20 years, and I'm still always picking up new gems from different barbers. So feel free to drop any knowledge that y'all got. I hear some people from time to time say that this process takes too long, but for me, this is the fastest process that I've came up with without sacrificing quality, because quality for me is the priority. So I know for sure I can get this fade done faster, but it wouldn't be as clean as I'd like it to be. So at the end of the day, I prioritize quality, because that's what makes you a lot more or harder to replace. If you're a quantity barber, I mean, that's cool. There's clientele for that barber as well. You just got to pick what satisfies you. For me, when I used to try to get in as many clients as possible, I felt like it was kind of killing my energy. It made me stop liking what I was doing, and it really started to turn it into a job for me. When I take my time and I work more passionately, I enjoy my process. I enjoy what I do, and I look forward to cutting hair. So you just got to pick what kind of barber you want, what kind of clientele you want, and stick with it. There's no right or wrong answer. But after you're done, just go ahead and take out the rest of the bottom of the hair with your trimmers and your electric shaver. And the challenge here again is to not create another hard line with the shaver. So as you reach the fade, just make sure that you're loosening up a little bit on the pressure so that you don't create any hard lines. And if you do so happen to create a small faint line, go ahead and just come back in with your trimmer to help you blend it right out. And I am using WAHL tools, guys. If y'all would like to purchase any at wahlpro.com, just use fadedculture15 at checkout so y'all can save 15% on y'all's tools. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the top by first saturating it. He didn't want a whole lot of a trim, but I'm gonna go ahead and just clean it up, even it out. What I'm doing here first is establishing my profile section down the middle about a combed width. And basically, I'm gonna just follow the guide from the shortest, longest piece from the front, just so I can keep as much of that fringe that he already had, and basically just layer to the back. So I'm just following the shape of his head, following that guide from the front, and just moving along down his head, following the shape of his head. So whatever shape that he has, which is round, is what I'm imitating with my fingers as I pull up. Then I'll start by pulling horizontal sections starting from the back and basically matching up to that shortest piece on the left side and the right side. Again, we're establishing a round shape. You'll hear that a lot in haircutting. You'll hear shapes, and those are just references to kind of get you to understand what kind of silhouette we want on our client. So when they say round, basically you're just following the head shape. So you see how my fingers are basically aligned with the head? That's basically what you'd be doing if you wanted a round shape. It's basically just a fluid, natural shape. We're not building any weight or anything like that. And I'm also point cutting just to give the top more of a soft textured finish. After that, I'll go ahead and pull a little bit of that same profile section that I initially pulled, move it off to the left side, and basically now use that again as my section to match the left panel to the middle. Try to take your time with doing shear work, guys. Remember, the way you do anything is how you do everything. So even when you section, try to do it as perfect as possible. And if you can't do it during working hours, then do it off time. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get better if you're just trying to practice while you're working. You gotta practice off work, off the clock. That's how you improve any skill, guys. So I encourage you to get yourself a mannequin, and even if you spend one whole day just practicing sectioning, getting your sections to look clean, getting you to feel and look comfortable pulling sections up and cutting them. Even if you don't actually cut, just imitate the actual action and act like you're about to cut. But when you do that in practice, when you actually get in the field, you'll see how much it's beneficial. I'm gonna go ahead and just blow dry his hair. And that's pretty much it for the shear work on top. Now using a feather razor, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up a little bit of the fringe just to even it out. He doesn't get any hard lines as far as the edge up goes. He just wants a natural fall on the fringe, so this is a good way to establish that. I'm gonna go ahead and use some of our Faded Culture shaving gel. We're running a big sale on them, guys, so if y'all like some, go ahead and visit us at fadedculture.com. We do have the whole shaving kit, including our razors, platinum razors, really sharp, and our razor holders like the Turkish and the slide. Right here I'm using the slide razor. I'm gonna go ahead and the only thing I'm gonna line up is basically those vertical bars right here on the edges, just to get them to look a little sharper than if they were just natural. Make sure you're using that opposite hand on the back end of the blade to help you create tension on the skin. Now using our metal adjustable enhancement card, I'm gonna use a little bit of enhancements on the edges just to get that hairline to pop a little harder. And I do mix equal parts of hair dye with water in a portable air gun. Y'all can find that air gun on Amazon, guys. It's fairly inexpensive, but that's what I use. I'm also gonna clean up his facial hair really quick, as I am gonna take pictures. So a lot of the times, even if they didn't request it, I insist just because I am gonna take a picture, and in pictures you want basically the whole product to look complete. I will apply a little bit of matte clay, but before I did that, first I wet the hair. Grab about a dime size of product, emulsify it into your hands until you can't see it, but you can feel it. Then just work it into the hair and play with the hair until you and your client are satisfied with the style. You can use things like brushes or styling combs to help you achieve that style. It's always a good idea to reference photos on social media as well, so you have something to work towards, guys. But here's the before in case y'all forgot what he looked like, and here's the after. I hope y'all really enjoyed this tutorial, guys, and were able to learn something from it. Please let me know in the comments what y'all did or didn't like. Maybe what suggestions on what other haircuts we should cover on this channel. But yeah, thank y'all for sticking around. This is Faded Culture. My name is Sergio Barron. Follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, and we'd love to connect with y'all. Again, love y'all. We'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.